vision, our purpose, our dream, right? That is the true power of clarity. So the true power of clarity don't come from somebody else's vision. It don't come from what somebody else wants you to do. That ain't what it come from. Today we're going to be talking about how do we define what our true purpose is, what our true goal is, right? What is our true vision? Mine's, ours, not theirs down the street, not Facebook's, right? Not YouTube's, but what is our vision and purpose? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And if you don't know, the reason why we're going to talk about this is because the more that we're online, if you don't know, social media, I don't care, pick a platform. I don't care. We talk about YouTube. We can talk about TikTok. We can talk about, it doesn't matter. Facebook, Instagram. Statistics show that the more we are online, the less clear we become. We're becoming more depressed, more suicidal. We definitely don't have no confidence now. Why? Because we're focusing on what everybody else is doing online. We don't even know how to get to where we know our own goals and visions, right? And that's why one of the things that I teach on is getting comfortable with getting offline for a minute, for a while. Because the more we're online, the harder it is for us to define what our true visions and goals is in life. Meaning what I really want to do. We getting caught up with this facade, this world where everything is supposed to be, this perfect thing. And, oh, well, all women are supposed to do this, or all men are supposed to be this way, or, all certain people are supposed to be that way or this way. But what do you really inspire to do? And what I'm saying about this, I'm talking about if you was close your eyes today. If nobody asks you, we ain't talking about you typing on Facebook and asking them. No. If nobody asked you, if you was to go in the closet and just shut the doors and just sit in your room, right? And shut the door and close your eyes. What would be the dream thing you would want to do? I want to talk to y'all about how y'all define your vision and your purpose, right? So when we define our vision and our purpose, these are things that we've been doing our whole life that comes natural and that comes easy to us. But somehow we have gotten off track of stop doing that and trying to do everything else because of social media or because of our environment. Mostly it's because of our environment, right? So it could be, because we lack respect. It could be because, we don't even know how to overcome our fears or failures. So these can be things that can keep you from knowing what your purpose is and what your true vision is in life. And I could just tell you about me. So my whole life, I've always, if you know me, I've always been like, had to take charge. Like I always had to be the leader, right? So I remember when I was young, my cousin would always say, why she always got to be the leader? Why she always got to be in charge, right? My cousin will always say that. And, and it was just something that I was just naturally good at. Like I'm just naturally good at taking something and saying, okay, this goes like this. Let's switch this way. Okay, this didn't work. Let's implement it this way. Well, that's wrong. Or let's slow down the process, or let's speed it up this way. Or instead of putting the cap on this way, let's twist it. But these are things that I was always good at, but I was always good at speaking it, being in charge of it, right? And the reason why I say this because remember, I've been a speaker my whole life. Like I've always been like the one to heal everything, bring everybody together. Now, don't get me wrong. I have my rough days too, but I've always, for the most part, been a healer, a lover, somebody that's always want to build people and just bring people together. That's always been my goal. But as I got older, right? Because when I was young, I'm in my 40s and I don't know where y'all at, but I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. So I don't know where y'all listening from. But type it in the comments. Let me know where y'all listening from. But I'm from Cincinnati. So back in the days, it was different, way different than it is now, So I always did things unique, like I would say now, right? And I didn't understand it. Like, meaning I was always speaking and I was always trying to uplift people when other people would try to put them down and, things that now I didn't say I never talked about nobody now. So I'm not saying that, right? Because nobody's perfect. So I'm not on here to say that I'm perfect. No, but in heart, I was always a natural, a natural healer, somebody always that wanted to, and I always wanted things even done with clarity. So even when I ran the warehouse, like, right, so we did things a certain way, and it had to be the simplest, fastest way, because I don't want to go all the way, around the world to get down the street. So I'm like that even when it comes to speaking as well. And I'm like that when it comes to business, period. So I've always been somebody that want to get straight to the point. Like if somebody come and talk to me, don't beat around the bush. I'm the person, get to the point. Like, okay, so that's just how I am. So as I got older, what happened was I lost that part of me. I forgot about that. That was my true vision and my true purpose. And I didn't really understand that was my true vision and my purpose in the beginning, because who thinks that when you're young that helping people and, um, being that confidant for everybody and trying to help everybody understand how to build their confidence and how they can instead of not how they can't, right? I don't never, when somebody's talking about me with me, we're always talking about how they can. I don't care who you are. So that's something I've always been great at, making people take that I can't and turn it into I can. So, but who thinks when you're that young that that's really your purpose and your vision? You don't. You really don't. So throughout life, what happened was my first job was actually in a nursing home at the Harrison House. I was at, that's a nursing home up here in Cincinnati, Ohio. That was my very first nursing home. I was 14 years old and I was in the kitchen. They call it the dietary, right? I don't know where they call it where y'all at, but it was called the dietary up here. And that was my very first job. And then after that, I kind of did other things. But even when I went to college for the medical field, because like I said, I am a nurturer and a carer, but I went to school for the medical field. And then when I got in the medical field, I was like, okay, I don't like the way that they treating people. And it wasn't even the patients, guys. It was like the people that was actually taking care of the patients. I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I'm gonna end up getting fired because I don't like the way they doing them, and I'm gonna say something or report something. Like, I just no, because I'm that type. Like, I was never to be quiet. No, that's the problem that we have in the world today. And that's why a lot of people don't understand their vision and their purpose, because they're being quiet on their own goals and their own vision and on themselves. Because, yeah, you can be quiet on your own dreams, your own goals, your own vision. And most importantly, you can be quiet on yourself. Just something to think about. So I was always the person that, like I said, that wanted to help people get to the next level. So then even when I went to school, I went for the medical field and I said, okay, this ain't what I want to do. Then I went back, I went for cardio tech. I was like, okay, this ain't what I want to do, right? Because I liked it, but I wasn't passionate about it. Then I remember I sold fire extinguishers. I sold jewelry. Now, the main thing, when I was working a 9 to 5, I could do a warehouse job all day. Like, I warehouse. Why? Because the time passed fast to me. I don't know, right? So, and I can even remember, even when I ran the warehouse, like that was the best time I had in my life when I had a 9 to 5, was when I actually ran the warehouse and I was in charge. Why? Because I made sure things ran smoothly. And that's just what I do. I'm good at that. I'm good at being in charge. And I was actually giving people, to me, confidence at that job. Like, I was one everybody came and talked to about everything. I was just the one. But throughout this whole process, and I can remember, even when I left the job because one of the things that's dear to me is respect. And I like things to be even all across the board, right? Right is right and wrong is wrong when it comes to me. And I don't care who it is or what it is or how it is. I didn't even lost people over this rule that I have right here, that right is right and wrong is wrong. And, so these are things that throughout everything that I never understood why I was going through this stuff. I never understood, okay, why am I doing all this stuff? And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it, but then I'm good at it, but I had a little bit of passion in the last one, but I'm like, okay, well, that's really not what I want to do. Right. So even after I did all that, I started doing other things. Like, okay, I started venturing out because I always knew I wanted to do something for me. Like, I always knew I wanted to be in business for myself. So I always knew that. But I just didn't understand how or why. Right. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a company, right? I remember, like I said, I did first things, all this. I'm selling jewelry, doing all this crap, and then all of a sudden now I'm like, okay, I'm selling jewelry, but I'm giving somebody else all this money, and then I gotta buy it back, and then I gotta do too much, and it's just jewelry. And then for me, I wanted something that I could do for the rest of my life, and I knew I could do that for the rest of my life. I don't have to question about, if it's gonna go out of style or this is just me. And so I'm like, okay, jewelry ain't work. So I started my skincare business. And when I'm starting my skincare business, I'm loving my skincare. And I still have a skincare business now. It's called visionz. And you can always shop and order that as well. But and actually I have a drawer of my skincare products right here. Like I said, I use it. So this is my muscle and joint ache cream right there. Because my son had a crick in his neck, so he used that. But so you can order that as well. But I didn't understand why I was doing all these different things. And once I started my skincare products, I'm like, this is it. I would fell in love because why? It was something that I did. So if you don't know, S&B Sense stand for me and my kids. S stands for St. Clair. That's my last name. Briar. And then B stands for Briar. That's my girl's last name. So S is me and my son's last name, St. Clair. The B is Briar. Me and my girls. Not me, but my girl's last name, right? And then we put the scents on there, right? St. Clair and Briar scents, right? So that's how we got that. And then I put the Z on there because if you know me or if you watch me, you already know I put a Z on the end of everything, right? Instead of an S. So if there's an S, I put a Z. So I was like, man. So even when I did my skincare products, right? So I was excited, but I didn't quite feel all the way fulfilled. So I'm sitting up here trying to figure out, okay, well, now I'm excited, more excited than I ever been in my life. But why ain't I feeling like this is my purpose? Because now, okay, Father, I got my family's name off the map, right? Our skincare products are selling, but why don't I feel like this is my purpose? And then it wasn't until I started noticing all these youth start coming to me, like my youth friends. They would come to me, ask to speak to me and talk to me about their problems. And I'm over here giving them advice and, building their confidence and everything, and it was in that moment that reality hit me. And it was like, ding, like, this is what I'm passionate about. I've always been passionate about helping people, but I've always been passionate about building confidence. I've always been passionate about this right here. This is something that I know I can do for the rest of my life, right? But why did it take me all these years to find out? Why did it just take me about 2 years ago to really find out that this is really my passion and this is really where I'm supposed to be? Because I tell y'all why it took me this long. Because I didn't have no clarity. I wasn't clear on really understanding what I wanted. I thought all the time that I was getting these jobs and I was applying for school and I was doing all these things, I was doing it for everybody else. I wanted to make my kids happy. I wanted to make my mom happy. So I'm doing things that I know would make them happy. How many of y'all had that problem, right? If y'all watch this, whenever y'all watch this, I don't care if it's a year or something from now, drop it in the comments if you ever had that problem. How many of y'all did something because y'all was thinking about everybody else, right? but then you did it, and yeah, they happy, but you still you either in a rut, in a financial rut, or it's just not what you really want. So I want y'all to understand that that's the power of clarity, understanding what you really want. When you get to the part to where you can say, you know, I understand that my kids gonna be happy if I do this. I understand that my mom and my dad and my brothers and my sisters and my family is gonna be happy if I do this. But I also understand that Queen A, meaning you, right? So I also understand that I'm gonna be happy if I do this. This is what I really want to do. And in order to do that, sometimes you might have to sit down and think. Take out a piece of paper. Ask yourself, what is it that I really been wanting to do my whole life? Like if I could think back, what is it that I've been passionate about my whole life? And that's how you get clear on your vision and what your purpose is. Like I've always been passionate about helping people. I've always been passionate about helping mindset though, like building mindset. When I say helping others, my passion always been building mindset. That's always what I've been wanting to be passionate about. So once I really dug into that, it was like, well, what am I sitting up here being afraid for? Like who don't want their mind watered, right? Who don't want to grow? Who don't want to stop being depressed? Who don't want to stop being frustrated? Who don't want to stop being confused? Who ready to get clear? That's true clarity. That's how you truly define what your vision is and what your true purpose is. Because I could tell you now, football players, matter of fact, speaking of football players, I got a godson right now. I don't like saying goddamn godson, but my bonus son, right? I got a bonus son right now. I call him Munchky Munch. And I can't wait to, because he gonna do, if he ever watch this, yeah, yo, I'm talking about you. Your bonus mama is talking about you. I'm about to give you your props. But he eats, sleeps, breathes football. Right now. I'm talking about if you go over his house, he probably watching football, playing a football game, throwing a football. That's a vision and that's a purpose. That's something he's passionate about. I'm talking about when he talks to you, he only want to talk about football. That's a passion. Right? Now, let's say he get older. Now, don't forget, he's still young. Well, y'all know, but he's young. He's only like 7 years old. Like 6 years old, 6, 7. So in a minute, guess what's going to happen? Influence is going to start kicking in. Environment's going to start coming in. You know, his peer pressure, all types of things. So that's when it's going to really determine if he really had clarity, right? Because see, we go through a period of where we actually are we are utilizing our, tools that we have for our purpose and our vision. Meaning it's a time where we already did what we was wanting. Like if you was say if you just eat, sleep, breathe, to care for people. You just want to care for people all your life. Every time somebody got injured, you want to clean them up. You the type person want to go get the bandage. You want to bandage them, and you want to, like, every time you looked on TV, it was something medical, and you just read medical books all the time. That's a passion. And then let's say now you get older and you start doing other things. And now instead of that's your passion, instead of you going to, okay, well, if I know this is what I really want to do, if I really want to be a nurse, what does it require to be a nurse? We don't look at it like that. Why? Because nobody is raising us to think like that in the beginning. In the beginning, they just, go apply for a job. I mean, I don't know where y'all at, but I grew up in the hood in Cincinnati. So we grew up, just go apply for a job, right? It wasn't, what do you really want to do? Like, what are you passionate about? Nobody asked me what I was passionate about, what I really wanted to do. And that's important. Because half of the time, if we ask half of these people what they really want to do, what are they passionate about? before they go flip a burger. Is this really what you want to do? Now, I'm not saying that if that's the first job you can do, okay, well, go do that. Some areas, they ain't got a lot of options. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you're in an area where you have options, maybe you can't be a nurse right now, but maybe you can be, a receptionist, right? A housekeeper in a hospital, right? That's a step closer. And then while you working in that hospital, in whatever area that you can get, see, now, but you go to school to be that nurse. But guess what? Now you're going to school, but you're already at a hospital. So now, and when you about to graduate, you already got somewhere to take your to do your what they call that, guys? Oh my God, like your internship. You already have somewhere to do that at. Right? So we have to start doing things like, for instance, if I wanted to be a speaker, if I knew I was passionate, I was, like I always love to speak. Like now I love to heal people too, but my healing is just for as mindset. I want to water your mind frame. I want to teach you how to become more confident. My healing ain't with a band-aid, right? So if I knew that, guess what I could have did? My first job could have been maybe at a, some kind of around some speakers, maybe just sweeping their floors or something. Right? Or maybe taking their bags. Do you need a bag lady? The speakers, yes. Do you need somebody to get your mic and get your cords and stuff? Why? Because I'm putting myself in the environment that I want to be in. And I don't know if y'all understand the way the environment works. We have to put ourselves in the environment we want to be in. A lot of us ain't in the environment we want to be in, and we don't understand how to even define our vision and our purpose, because guess what? We refuse to change our environment. That's another thing. So another way for you to define your vision and your purpose is by starting to make sure that you understand. Once you get clear on what it is you want to do, like I said, grab that piece of paper. Think about it. What is it that you really want to do? Once you do that and you write that down, now ask yourself, where do I need to plant myself in order to do these things? Yes. In order to define your vision and your purpose, you got to understand where to even plant yourself at. You can't say, okay, you know what? I'm going to define my vision and purpose, but, I'm going to put myself in a whole different environment while I'm looking over here. It don't work like that. Our brain to get confused. And then in a minute, we won't even be trying to complete our goal. That's why statistics shows that most people don't even start to complete their goals or build a company or do anything far as their passion until they in their 40s. Why? Because we spent from 20 to 40 confused about where we really want to be and about what our vision truly is and about what our purpose truly is, which is why I'm here. This is the reason why I am the clarity coach for young to middle-aged adults, because that's where the most confusion is. The most confusion ain't, once you get in your 40s, most people are pretty sure about what they want to do in life, who they want to be with, what kind of relationship they want. People are pretty clear on a lot of things by the time they start to hit 40. Right? I mean, let's just be honest. But from 20 to 40, we confused. We confused. Because most of us ain't been in no real relationships. So we get in a relationship that we think we want, right? And then that turned out not to be what we want, right? So then we get with somebody else and that we just confused. And now, or we get a job and, we got it because they pay good. We weren't really thinking about what we really want to do in life, our vision and our purpose. So now, let's say you get a job that pays good, right? But then what happens? As time goes on, the job might leave. They might not need that job no more. Like if you work that Blockbuster, right? Where they were selling and renting out movies like videotapes, then guess what? When CDs came, Blockbuster went out of style. Right? Especially when I say Once after CDs came, I say once Netflix came, right? Blockbuster left and got out of style. They was there still around with DVDs, but shortly after that, they was gone. Why? Because things change. And we have to understand that as people, things change. So I want y'all to understand, in order for you to understand what your true vision is, what your true purpose is, right? You have to be clear on what it is that, like, sit down and think. You have to be clear on what it is that now I'm clear on, I want y'all to hear this, you, not your next door neighbor, not your mama, not your daughter, not your kid, not the dog, nobody, all right? You have to get clear on what it is that you would do. If your life depended on, a doctor said you only had a month left to live and I'm gonna let you live your dream job for your last month, what would it be? And I can guarantee you it's something that you already good at doing. Most passionate firefighters, they're passionate about fires. They love putting out fires. They that's what they're passionate about. Now, we ain't talking about the ones who just joined the firefighter academy, right? It's a difference. It's people in every field that's there, because that is people that's the police officers, because they're passionate about protecting the environment, passionate about the world, right? And then you got some there that just don't care. And that's why, we got what we got, the situation we have going on where, you got some cops that's out here that'll just kill you at a drop of a hat. And you got some cats out here that's really caring, that's out here for the environment. Why? Because we have two different sets out here. We have some out here that's doing that because that's truly their vision, their purpose, and that's what they've been. They eat, sleep, and breathe that. And then you have others out here just because it's a job and they feel like they don't get paid enough and they don't like what they're doing anyway. So that's what it is. Or they feel like they're entitled, right? But I want y'all to understand, in order for you to get clear on what your vision is and what your purpose is in life, you got to really sit back down and think about, what is it that you always wanted to do that you kept passing up on? What is it? And I'm telling you, for a lot of mothers, especially a lot of us pass up on our dreams and our visions and our purpose because we going to all the kids' games. And I want mothers, hear me clearly. It's okay to go to your kids' games. I'm not saying that. We going to our kids' games. We going to, school events that the kids have, and we taking them wherever they got to go. And yes, as a parent, we are supposed to do that. But also, as a parent, it's important for you to put you first. Let me say that again, because I know a lot of parents going to be like, put me first. Yes, parent, mom. It's no fun watching your child just go through their dreams and visions while you just sit and suffer. That's not the goal. That's not the plan. That's not what Queen A wants for you. I want you both to be accomplishing your goals. I want you both to be confident. That's not the goal. Your goal should never be to let me see and let me sit back while they accomplish their goals, because I already then gave up on mine and my life is over with. I'm in my 40s. I done lived my life anyway, because I hear that a lot. I done lived my life. Newsflash, do you know that what's his name? KFC Cornell, whatever his name is. I'll forget his name. But he didn't start KFC until I think he was in his 60s. And look at KFC now popping. He put his family on the map before he left. He was passionate about his chicken recipe. What? He went to everywhere. Stuff you passionate about, the stuff that you willing to do. Like, you know what? Like, for instance, for me, I eat, sleep, breathe giving confidence. I eat, sleep, breathe being a clarity coach, helping people build their mindset, watering mindset. That is my vision. That is my purpose. Actually, my mission is to be the go-to for young to middle-aged adults when they're lacking clarity, from the Midwest to the East Coast. That is my mission. That is Queen A's mission, and I will accomplish it. What is your mission? What is your vision? What do you want to do? We ain't talking about the job you want to do because it pay, right? Because a lot of y'all don't know all money ain't good money. It's some rich people out here that's stressed. It's some rich people out here that lack a lot of confidence when it comes to relationships, when it comes to, communication. So I don't want you to have a lot of money. I don't want you to just be rich. No. You can, whatever your dreams is, your goals and your vision, you can get rich doing it. I don't care what it is. They got people running over Legos and getting money. So they got people, what they call it, mukbang, whatever, where these people eating and people watching them eat and they get money. So please don't tell me that you can't, because you can. It's all about what are you willing to do it. See, once you sit down and you define your vision and your purpose, meaning that now you clear, you understand what it is that you've been so excited for your whole life, what it is you've been wanting to do your whole life. Like me, I understand my whole life I've been wanting to build people confidence. Because I felt like my whole life people always want to be follow the leader. I've never been a follow the leader. I always set back. I always wanted to give people the confidence to be themselves, to embrace naturalness, right? To embrace confidence, to embrace overcoming fears, to embrace life lessons, which is what y'all call failures, right? Embrace them, because you can't go through life without them. So I want y'all to understand that these are just some ways to get clear on your vision and what your purpose is in life. All right. So I hope y'all got something from this now. This is the power of clarity. That's the power of clarity right there. It's understanding, acknowledging, and executing. All right. So understand what it is. Like you've been wanting to do your whole life. That's how you define it. Right. And then once you understand what it is, what do you need to do to get there? Right? And are you willing to take the steps to get there? Because if your whole life you been want to be a nurse, right? Or you, whatever it is, you been want to be a nurse your whole life, you eat, sleep, breathe, taking care of people, then guess what? You should be taking the steps to get that accomplished. That's how you define your purpose. You can't just think about it. You can't just know what it is. No, you have to write out the steps, write it down, and start executing it. And that is how you define it. Defining is action steps, okay? I want y'all to understand that. All right. So understand it. That's why I'm the clarity coach. My name is Queen A. Don't